I never thought I'd find myself in need of legal help, but a few months ago, I started having complications from a prescription I'd taken years ago. At first, I brushed it off, but after connecting the dots and reading other people's stories, I realized it could be something serious. The problem was, I had no clue what to do next. I wasn't about to cold call law firms or try to figure it out on my own. That's when I came across Justpoint. It seemed different, no upfront costs, no confusing paperwork, and they promised to match me with a legal team based on my actual medical history. So I gave it a shot. And in this video, I'll walk you through how it went, what Justpoint actually does, what the process felt like, what stood out, and whether it's something I'd recommend if you're ever unfortunately in a similar boat. Justpoint is a legal tech service that helps people figure out if they have a case, especially when it comes to medication side effects, defective products, or health issues caused by things you didn't realize were harmful. Their approach isn't just about connecting you with a lawyer, it's about helping you understand what happened, what your options are, and whether there's a real shot at compensation. They bring together legal experts, medical professionals, and data tools all in one place. It's designed to feel less like hiring a lawyer and more like getting straight answers quickly without pressure. For someone like me who had no idea where to even start, that made all the difference. When I first reached out, I expected a long form and a lengthy wait, but it started with a free consultation, no paperwork, no pressure. I spoke with someone who asked thoughtful, specific questions. They actually listened, and the whole conversation felt human. We talked through my symptoms, what medications I'd been on, and what my doctors had said, just enough to build a timeline to see if there was a potential connection. After the call, they ran an eligibility check using the info I'd shared. They compared my case to past lawsuits, court rulings, and known drug risks. I heard back within a day. Turns out there was a possible link between the medication I'd taken and a class action case that had already seen some early rulings. That's when things moved forward. My case was handed off to a legal medical team that started gathering records and building it out. I didn't have to chase anyone or explain things twice, I just answered questions when they needed more info. What surprised me most was how calm the whole experience felt. I expected a lot of stress, but I really felt like I was being helped every step of the way. What really impressed me here was what happened behind the scenes after that first call. Justpoint uses a platform that pulls from thousands of past claims, legal outcomes, medical research, and pharmaceutical data. It's designed to spot patterns that even experienced lawyers might miss. Instead of relying solely on what I told them, they cross-referenced my medical history with real litigation data and identified a link strong enough to move forward with a case. It wasn't just a guess, it was based on existing outcomes and real-world evidence. There were real people managing my case, but the tech made everything faster, more efficient, far more precise. I was not waiting weeks for someone to manually piece things together. The system accelerated the process so we could get a clear yes or no and move forward. If you're curious whether your own situation might qualify, there's a link in the description where you can start the consultation. It's free to check, and it might give you some clarity, even if you don't move forward with a case. I also came across Digital Owl during my research. At first glance, they seem similar. They both use AI to improve legal processes, but here's the key difference. Digital Owl is built for law firms. It's a back-end tool that helps attorneys process medical records faster. It's not something the average person would ever interact with. Justpoint, on the other hand, is built for individuals. It's for people who have no idea how to start a claim, what their rights even are. You don't need a lawyer already. You don't need to understand legalese. You just show up, tell your story, and they take it from there. If you're someone who needs help figuring out if you have a case, like I was, Justpoint is the way to go. Digital Owl is better suited for law firms already dealing with that back-end work. What shocked me was how much Justpoint offered up front without charging anything out of pocket. The consultation, legal review, medical records analysis, everything. It was covered. You only pay if your case wins, and even then, the fee comes out of your settlement. What sets them apart is that they don't just hand your case off to a generic lawyer. They bring in medical experts, researchers, and data analysts to make sure your claim is solid from every angle. That gave me the confidence that my case was being taken seriously. In my case, they confirmed the legal precedent and filed on my behalf within 2 weeks. I did not expect it to move that quickly or to feel so organized, but it did. Justpoint is perfect for anyone dealing with long-term health systems tied to medications, products, or toxins, and who wants clarity without the stress of going it alone. It's for people who need a clear answer, not courtroom drama. If you're already working with a law firm or you need something like estate planning or real estate help, this won't be the right fit. Justpoint is laser focused on public health litigation. They don't try to be everything for everyone. One thing I really appreciated, and I saw this on other reviews as well, is how patient and human the team is. I never felt rushed or talked down to. Even when I had what are objectively dumb questions, they took the time to explain things clearly. They also didn't overpromise. There were moments where they said, we'll need to look into that, instead of just telling me what I want to hear. That honesty builds a lot of trust. Now, I did see a few reviews mentioning too many follow-up emails or calls. I personally didn't have that issue, but I can see how it might get frustrating if you're juggling work or other health stuff. It's a small thing, but something to be aware of. Justpoint turned out to be exactly what I needed. Legal support that didn't feel intimidating or out of reach. I didn't have to pay up front, I didn't have to chase people. I got real answers, and when it made sense to move forward, they didn't hesitate. If you've been dealing with health issues or side effects and wondering if it's even worth looking into, Justpoint is probably one of the easiest, least stressful ways to find out. And even if you're not sure, the consultation is free, so at the very least, you get some clarity. If you want to check it out, there's a link in the description to get started. We usually can get you some special deals that you wouldn't be able to get through their website directly. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you've had experience with Justpoint or any legal service that you think is worth looking at. I'll do my best to reply. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.